June 24, 2010, the night a 27-year-old Boston medical student checked into a downtown hotel with a young woman he'd never met. No one could have imagined that, within the next few hours, a gruesome crime would unfold, setting off a media frenzy that would forever link the seemingly innocuous world of online classifieds to a deadly predator. It began, as many modern crimes do, with a simple Craigslist ad. Looking for a friendly companion for a weekend getaway? Read the posting, posted by an anonymous user who signed the message only with the initials JT. The advertisement attracted hundreds of replies, but one response stood out. A 23-year-old recent college graduate named Emily Hart, who was eager to escape a dead-end job and explore the city's nightlife. Emily's reply was courteous, her tone hopeful, and she offered to meet the poster at the historic Copley Plaza Hotel on a Saturday evening. What Emily didn't know was that JT was actually Jason Thomas, a third-year medical student at Boston University School of Medicine. To his professors and classmates, Thomas was the picture of a diligent scholar, a volunteer at the free clinic, and a future surgeon in the making. Yet behind the stethoscope, he harbored a dark fascination with control, an obsession that manifested in a series of escalating fantasies he chronicled in a private journal he kept on his laptop. He had already used Craigslist to arrange illicit encounters with sex workers, but this time he sought something more, a perfect victim who would willingly accompany him, unaware that the night would end in murder. The night of June 24, the hotel's revolving doors swirled as Emily entered, her suitcase rolling behind her. Thomas greeted her with a rehearsed smile, offering a bottle of wine and a room key. The couple ascended to the 5th floor, the hallway lights flickering as they passed a hallway adorned with vintage photographs. Inside the suite, the atmosphere shifted. Thomas's charm gave way to a sudden, chilling intensity. He pressed a small bottle of sedatives into Emily's hand, claiming they would help her relax. Within minutes, Emily's eyes grew heavy, her breath shallow, and she slipped into unconsciousness. When the police would later reconstruct the scene, they found Emily's lifeless body sprawled across the bed, a single stab wound to the heart, and a meticulously cleaned room, no fingerprints, no blood spatter beyond the obvious. The medical examiner's report would later confirm that the sedative had been administered in a dose sufficient to incapacitate, but not to kill. The fatal blow had been delivered with a kitchen knife, likely a chef's knife from the hotel's kitchenette. Detectives from the Boston Police Department began piecing together a puzzle that spanned digital footprints, surveillance footage, and forensic evidence. The hotel's security cameras captured a blurred silhouette of a man in a white coat entering the hallway just after 9 p.m., his figure matching the description of a medical student. A quick search of the hotel's guest list revealed that a Jason Thomas had indeed checked in that night, using a credit card under his real name. The break in the case came from an unlikely source, Thomas's own laptop, seized during a routine search of his dorm room after the murder was linked to his name. Hidden within the encrypted files were drafts of emails he had drafted to a friend, describing a successful experiment and boasting about the perfect execution. The laptop also contained a copy of the Craigslist ad he had posted, complete with the timestamp, IP address, and the exact phrasing he used to lure Emily. Armed with this digital evidence, the district attorney's office filed charges of first-degree murder, armed robbery, and unlawful possession of a controlled substance. The trial, which began in early 2010, unfolded in a courtroom packed with journalists, students, and members of the public who had followed the case through every headline. The prosecution painted Thomas as a cold, calculating predator who weaponized his medical knowledge to orchestrate a murder that appeared, at first glance, to be a tragic accident. Key witnesses took the stand. Emily's roommate, who had been the last person to see her alive, testified about the last text message Emily had sent. Just checked into the hotel, feeling nervous but excited. JT seems nice. The hotel's night shift manager recounted the suspicious behavior of the man in the white coat, noting how he lingered in the hallway longer than any typical guest. Forensic experts explained how the sedative found in Emily's bloodstream could only have been administered by someone with medical training, linking the crime directly to Thomas's expertise. The defense, led by a seasoned attorney who had previously defended high-profile medical malpractice cases, argued that the evidence was circumstantial and that the sedatives could have been administered by anyone who had access to the room. They suggested that the knife wound could have been the result of an accidental self-infliction during a struggle, and they pointed to the lack of direct eyewitness testimony. The defense also tried to humanize Thomas, painting him as a brilliant student who had been under immense pressure from his studies, family expectations, and personal insecurities, a narrative designed to create reasonable doubt. The turning point came when the prosecution introduced a forensic reconstruction of the timeline, supported by the hotel's key card logs, the time-stamped Craigslist ad, and a recovered fragment of a disposable glove found in the bathroom's trash. Subscribe to The Verdict for more stories like this.